anywhere you have an internet connection. You don't have to worry about having your computer. You can pull articles and drop them in there for a later date. You can do it on your iPhone, your iPad, your computer, Mac, Windows, whatever. Plus, you can share a file with me. And if you have a journal article that you pulled and you don't not sure if it's scholarly, all you have to do for sharing it's just you and I sharing it, then I can go in and I can look at that article and say, yeah, it's pretty good. Use this, this, and this. I can help you along. Really, other than that, you've got to email it to me. I have to open on my computer and save it. This way we can just look at it, be done. If you have your master that you're working on in there and you get this and you need help, I can look at it that way. I can look at your writing. I can do all kinds of stuff. So I've sent I will be sending everybody a Dropbox invite, and if you have one, then just let me know. If you already have it, let me know, and we'll get hooked up and we'll share a file. Save it to the citation manager or however else you're saving your citations, and make sure that you're saving your citations. It's really tough to be at 10 o'clock and you're going through and you find one citation that you do not have the full citation for in the back, and you got to take that whole section out because you don't have it, because you'll drop grades because you're not citing. Think of a citation manager as the whole the Major League Baseball. It's every player that ever played, and you're citing everybody that hit a home run. Everybody was on base. You got four authors. One was the number one, that's your batter who hit the home run, and you got three other people on base, and it's a grand slam. Of course, there's more and less, but you get the idea. If you hit the home run, you want to be recognized for it, just as being on the bases and how you got on the bases and everything else. So you need to make sure that everything gets cited. Okay. The next portion. It's quantity before quality when you're doing your research. You want to, it's rare to find an article on the very first time. I've only done it a couple times. You have to go through the articles to find it. This is how I do this. I have a library of over 4,000 articles in different subjects: social psychology, sports psychology, research methods, all these different kinds of things. You just got to separate them and keep a good filing system. Okay, but when I'm doing a new topic for a class, I will open up a file and give it a name. And every time I get in that library and I just look for every abstract that I like, it's just got to pique my interest. And my goal is 10 a day. So at night, I take 45 minutes and I probably can find 10 or more in 45 minutes. And I just go. And then I go back and I skim them. I just go through each one that I just got, and I put them by days. So let's say it's day one. I put every one of them in day one. And I go through and I skim, I pull the articles one by one on my computer after I've downloaded them, and I skim them, and I have them all in the citation manager. Okay? And I skim them, and I pull the best two or more. Okay? And I'll get into that. I'm going to go a little farther. Okay? And then basically you move on from there. Okay. Also, some of them the ones I don't need, I don't throw away, because there may be something else that comes up in another class or another place that you need an article, and you may already have that article in that subject. So if my instructor is asking for 15 references, then I'll search for 10 a day for 5 days until I reach the citation goal. Okay? So it may take me 7 days of research, but I may have pulled 70 articles to find the 10 or 15 that I need. Next, when I have the first 10, I take a deeper look at the articles, and my dream is to find 2 or more out of the 10. Okay? If I find the 2, I print them out and start working on them. I usually send out an email in class saying about the back pocket or the purse. Being a male, it's my back pocket. Okay? I'll put some in my back pocket. So if I'm at the restaurant and nothing's going on, I'll open up a journal article and I'll just start marking them up. Got to use the cracks of time. When I'm working in my regular job, I would have them with me, and if I got stuck someplace and it was just dead, I would immediately go to my back pocket and I'd start highlighting areas. That way, when I got home, if I really liked the article, I could just whip out the dissecting article sheet, fill it out, and move on. That's the shell. Fill out that sheet. Don't write the lit review. Fill out the sheet. Then come back and really delve into it. If you need 15 journal articles, okay, your goal is to fill 15 dissecting articles worksheet. If you do that and you do it in a week and a half, and you have an 8-week window or a 10-week window or a 15-week window to write this, and it took you 8 days of 8 days, Monday through Friday and Monday through Wednesday, to fill out the 15 dissecting articles worksheet, you have the rest of the semester to really build your lit review. Kind of makes sense? I either print them out. I have an iPad. I use my iPad. They're on my iPhone. They're everywhere. So anywhere I want. Now my pitch. There is a book company called Know, K-N-O. You can go on. If you have an iPad or whatever, you do not have to purchase any books on there, but you can download from Dropbox or wherever if you have Dropbox, it'll take it right from Dropbox. You can drop your lit reviews in there, and Know is a wonderful thing because you can highlight. And when you highlight in Know, it will take it and put it in a journal, so you don't have to write the article dissecting article sheet out. You just do that, and then you come home, fill out the article sheet, and put it away. Now I forgot to take that off. So round one, okay, and this is the next slide that was supposed to be on. Round one, once you're going to dissect this, you have your journal article. Skim it. Don't read it. If you read it, you're going to waste time. You want to skim it because you still aren't sure if everything you really want about that article is really there. It sounds really good at the beginning, but when you get into it, it just doesn't hit any nerves at all. But there could be some citations in there. So you take citations from some and you use whole articles from other. So you can start a little file on just citations and quotations or how they paraphrased it. Okay. When skimming, start with the abstract. Fill out as much of the dissecting articles worksheet as you can from that abstract. Purpose statement, hypotheses, whatever else you can find. A little bit of the results are in there. Just get it going. Skip the beginning portion of it. You're going to come back to it later in your second reading. Mark the following with a highlighter or on your iPad or whatever. Purpose statement or hypotheses, this or these, as many as they have. Okay? Number of participants and some demographic information, age, gender, where they lived, that kind of stuff. What kind of survey instrument did they use? Did they use the perceived stress index or the intrinsic motivation whatever, or the Moshlosh burnout inventory, or whatever instrument they used? And you want the instrument, the acronym, and the author's name. Okay? You need it all. And the citation in the back. Okay? What test did the authors run? Did they run a t-test? Did they run a multiple regression? This is the area where you start to learn about the words of statistical analysis. I'm not asking you to delve directly into the results. You probably will not understand the total results, but you've got to start learning what tests are being run. Okay, so you want to tell what tests are run. What are the results? That will usually come somewhere. It might come in the results section, or it could come in the discussion area. Okay, then the author's conclusions. You really got to, sometimes they're right out there from the authors conclude. Those are wonderful, but sometimes it isn't, so you have to go there. Filling out the dissection articles worksheet and move on to the next article. Okay, round two, same article. Okay, so now you have two choices. You have the shell of it, the shell of it done, which is everything but the introductory sentence and maybe the results in the conclusion, depending on how it is. So you've got the purpose statement, you got all the participant numbers, you've got information on the survey and everything else. You've got most of that shell done. You don't have the deep part, which is the introductory sentence, maybe some background information on definitions and so on and so forth. Okay? You move on. You can either move on to the second one or you can go back and do this portion. Take the article and start at the beginning and read the introduction. That's from under the abstract to the methodology or methods section. Go through the whole thing. Look for and just highlight everything that seems to be important. And that's going to go from with your introductory sentence. After you're done with that, build a one sentence that gives a simple synopsis of it, not the purpose statement. You want to dig a little deeper. Okay, then you can add in other things like if they define something. So if we're talking about burnout and somebody gives a definition of burnout, I'm going to get it in there. I may not use it right there, but I may use that in the introduction or in the rationale, or I may use it somewhere in my art in my paper. Okay. So you're going to build the introductory sentence from the article between the abstract and the methodology. You're going to look for definitions. You're going to find out what other authors have said. Then researching to find their article. Focus on the discussion section to understand the results of the data and draw conclusions. That's the second half. So you do that other half first. Even if you don't do the results and the results and the conclusions, you do everything else. You find the hypotheses, purpose statement, that. Move on to the second one. So you've got all those little shells done. And then you come back and you start digging into the deeper portion of it. What are they trying to say? What conclusions are they trying to draw? How does it all work? And that's what's going to build you a great lit review. Okay, now you're ready to write. You've done these two sections. Now you go back, you've reread the article. Now you probably touched this article 3 times. You're going to have a really good idea